Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter.
Hi there guys, it's Adam Martyn here. And welcome back to another video, and would you believe it, we've got more new information on Freely, which of course is the brand new service that is launching this year, the evolution of Freeview as it were. Now, I've been covering this, the sort of announcement and then the initial update, but recently we've had even more launch details and a bit of details about the new interface as well, so I definitely thought that would be something worth coming here and talking to you about today. So let's get right into it. From RxTV Info, the article says, Freeview replacement Freely unveils more launch details and new interface. And you actually get a little picture there of what the interface may look like. I'll talk about that in a sec. The streaming service that will ultimately replace Freeview and FreeSat will launch ahead of this summer's big sports events with brand new features and an additional launch partner. So Vestel joins Hisense as launch partner, meaning that Freely will be available across a range of budget and also premium devices, which can only be a good thing. The more accessible, the better. UK TV, which is owned by BBC Studios, is to make its channels available via streaming. That's a big step as well. New user interface will give a glimpse of what the service will look like for early adopters, but there's an admission that in the early days of Freely, there will be a difference in what you get depending on if you're using Wi-Fi, dish, or aerial. So not necessarily, all ironed out yet, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. Everyone TV, the organisation leading the evolution of free TV in the UK, well, free is debatable on where you're looking at it, has this morning confirmed its new streaming service Freely will launch during the second quarter, so between April and June of 2024. This means the first Freely devices will be available ahead of this summer's season of sport, which includes the Euro 2024 and, of course, the Olympics, which will be held in Paris. Everyone TV, which was formerly known as Digital UK, is the platform operator backed by the main UK free-to-air channels. It already operates Freeview and FreeSat. To coincide with the unveiling of further details about the platform, it's commissioned research that says the number of broadband-only TV households will become the majority by 2030, up from just over 15% of homes in 2023. That's an interesting statistic because, the majority is basically 51% or more than half. And if we're on 15% already, so they're saying by 7 years, at the very least, we're going to reach more than 50% of people having, broadband-only TVs. I mean, I can see the number going up, absolutely, but to that much in just, now 6 years, it's a big leap. It's a big ask for people to, upgrade their televisions to that as well, unless the prices of them come down or there's more incentives for people to purchase them. I guess maybe Freely being one of them. As viewers replace existing Freeview and FreeSat devices, Freely will allow them to continue to use aerial and dish alongside IP streaming, or they can unplug the aerial and dish and go IP only. Because yes, there are still a lot of people in 2024 who get their TV via some form of aerial or some form of satellite dish, and there are those who obviously rely on IP and streaming as well, but to say that streaming is the dominant one right now, as that figure shows, isn't necessarily the case. So then it says how you receive TV will determine what you get. In the beginning, going IP only, so streaming only, will result in differences in channel lineup and services available. However, it's been confirmed that Everyone TV is working with the BBC Studios-owned UK TV, which encompasses Dave, Drama, Yesterday and W, to make the channel portfolio available via streaming. That should avoid the situation currently encountered by EETV users, where anyone opting for streaming or IP-only TV loses access to those channels, because that's a big thing as well. Not every channel, or not every free-to-air channel, I should say, has yet completed a transition to having a streaming option. So as it says at the minute, the UK TV stuff, so Dave, Drama, Yesterday and W, you can access those via your aerial, you can access those via your satellite dish, but you can't necessarily, access them via streaming or IP only. As it says, that's what EETV people are encountering at the minute. But it's nice to see that the BBC Studios are being a bit more proactive. They're looking to obviously make that change and hopefully incorporate that into Freely as well. The BBC's main public service channels, so BBC One, 2, etc., they'll automatically default to streaming on Freely devices, falling back to digital terrestrial, or DTT, or satellite only if there's a problem with the internet connection. And I feel that's probably the way most of the channels on Freely are going to go, and I think if we're pushing for a more streaming-based thing, that's the right way to go. Have it set as the default, but have those fallback options as well for those who maybe still have access to an aerial or dish, that, that could be like the backup option. For broadcasters only available via terrestrial and satellite, these channels will continue to be available where an aerial or dish is plugged into the TV. So again, providing you've got, an aerial and dish still to hand, as millions still do as of 2024. It seems like you'll have the backup for the channels that are on IP, but you'll also have access to the channels like UK TV at the moment that don't yet have that streaming or IP option. In time, and as viewing via broadband only reaches a critical level, remaining broadcasters will have the choice to close terrestrial and satellite outlets. Freely receivers will automatically switch users to the IP stream of the channel instead. And I think more channels are going to do this, definitely by 2030. It wouldn't surprise me by 2030 if, most channels at least offer an IP version or IP only version of their service. Just a little quote here, an actual statement from Evonne TV, the owners of this, say homes connected via IP only and those using a hybrid of IP and DTT connection may experience varying channel offerings as Freely continues to develop. I think this openness is good, right out of the gate. They're not trying to hide this. They're not waiting for people to discover that certain channels aren't going to be there via IP only. So fair play to Evonne TV for just being honest with this. Hopefully it won't be an issue that plagues them for very long when Freely launches. Now, the new interface itself, they've offered a first glimpse at the interface and the features of Freely, including world-first innovations for free TV. For the first time on a free service, viewers will be able to switch seamlessly between live and on-demand TV from the leading UK broadcasters, so we're assuming, the BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, and take advantage of features such as pause, restart, and access to more episodes without having to pay. Now, these sort of features, they have existed on pay services, and some of them also exist on streaming services, pause, restart, access to more episodes, etc. But as it says, this will be the first major time on a free service in which all of this will be available. And I really think that'll be beneficial to the broadcasters on this, because Freeview, even though Freeview and FreeSat is still used by millions of people, I think the last article in 2023 suggested it was something like 16 million people, which is a fair chunk of the UK. Whilst many still use it, I think more younger or more technically adept viewers might find the user interface of Freeview a little bit antiquated by today's standards, especially considering what the paid competition's offering. So this interface, at least from the descriptions and the features, already sounds like a big push forward. That's a major gripe with the current main broadband-only TV rival, which is, of course, Sky Glass or Sky Stream, which charges customers for certain basic functionalities. But Freely is not expected to allow ad skipping, given it's backed by the UK's biggest commercial broadcasters. That's true. So, of course, with people like ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5 being key, backers of this, ad skipping, I doubt that's going to happen. Obviously, ad skipping is available on premium services of those broadcasters, which you'll assume you'll be able to access on Freely, on those on-demand services. So, obviously, ITVX Premium, there's Channel 4's Premium version. I'm sure Channel 5 has one as well, but it seems if you're going to do it via Freely, like watching live TV or whatever, then you ain't going to be able to skip. And it does make you wonder what's going to happen, or Sky's response to this, because that is true. These basic functionalities, the whole pause, restart, access to more episodes, switching between live and on-demand TV, if Freely is going to, by its namesake, offer those features for free, or as free as it can, and then Sky's charging a fee, it does make you wonder. But I think Sky is such a big brand, especially in the TV world, and it's gotten in there early with Sky Glass and Sky Stream, so I don't think it's going to be damaged that much, but the proof will be in the pudding when Freely launches. So the key Freely features revealed today, or when this article dropped, include a mini guide, a new feature for the free TV experience. This pop-up interface appears each time users switch channels, creating a seamless browsing experience and enabling viewers to easily discover related live or on-demand content. Audiences can also take advantage of features such as restart, pause, and access to more episodes from live TV. Now, again, is a mini guide like a groundbreaking new feature in television generally? Not necessarily, but as it points out, for the free TV experience, again, this is the whole evolution of Freeview. This is a brand new feature, and a useful one as well. A mini guide allows you can still watch whatever program you're watching or when you're switching channels and get access to, you might like this, or you can pause, restart, etc. So, good start there. Just an editor's note to add on to the mini guide. We have a picture here. So, as you can see, it looks fairly intuitive. On the main bulk of it, you can see the channel. You can clearly scroll through channels whilst you're still watching something or indeed switching channels there. You've got a little thumbnail that's provided as well.
the name of the program, how far you're into it, to pause it, to restart it, info on more episodes. You can see what's on next. The actual RX TV lot do have some interesting criticisms, which I think is fair enough. So it says, arguably the program image thumbnails aren't always useful, as shown by the image above, supplied by Everyone TV. The title of the program on Next is cut short, and of course not all programs have their own distinct logo or image that easily identifies them to viewers. This image uses Channel 5 as an example, but that is a channel that does run similarly named programs or repackages documentaries with slightly different names. So, fair enough, but I think, again, if you really want to see what's on next, like the full name and breakdown details, you could always just access the TV guide feature. But I think this is mainly, again, it stands out quite well, the white against the, darker background, if you like. The buttons are very clear, like the restart, info and episodes and all that, very clear for someone like myself without the best eyesight to check into as well. Some might say it looks a tiny bit cluttered, but I think this is probably the best they could do to make it easy to read without being a bit too overwhelming.
Browse. Viewers will be able to press the Freely button on their remote to explore recommended live and on-demand programming from Britain's leading broadcasters and free-to-air channels, all in one place. Again, these features might not sound like groundbreaking, but for free TV, Freely is basically making the whole Freeview experience more like a competitive streaming site, like the Virgins or the Skies or even the people like Netflix and stuff like that. It's just trying to bring it more up to date. And the TV guide, bringing simplicity and familiarity, this 7-day guide provides relevant information and is easily recognizable thanks to its consistency across all Freely TVs and one-touch access via the guide button on the remote. Audiences can also discover more episodes and on-demand content linked to the live TV shows they are enjoying, all via the TV guide. So again, the whole idea of a TV guide isn't necessarily dead. It's saying it's going to be recognizable, it's going to be consistent, and I think ultimately, if it's easily accessible and consistent, that is the way it needs to be. I mean, just looking from the very brief picture we have here, it's all in black and white. I guess the text stands out because there's going to be, my thought is there's going to be a lot of older viewers who will eventually have to move over to Freely who might be, they may feel a bit overwhelmed at all the new features and all like the new options and stuff like that. So having a familiar TV guide for them to draw upon, one that's very easy to navigate as well, I think can only be a good thing. And I mean, for someone like me who's a bit visually impaired, it's very easy on the eyes. Some might say black and white is a bit boring mainly, but I think the white text pops out nice and strongly. It's easy for me to read. The red highlight not only matches the Freely logo there, with the little icon, but again, it just makes it easy to see for me what I've selected. Then on the info and episodes, when you hit that, again, this is very much in the modern streamer style, particularly like Netflix or things like that. Gives you a bit of a description, the name of the show, episodes you can watch, etc., etc. And then Vestel joins in. Hisense was announced as the first Freely device partner. Now, millions more TVs are due to get Freely via Vestel, the company behind numerous TV brands sold at places like Argos and Currys, including Bush, Hitachi, and JVC, who are joining in. The 5-year deal will see Freely incorporated into its new set of smart TVs, and it will be running the native guide on Vestel TVs, giving users the best viewing experience possible. So again, having another company join in on incorporating Freely onto TVs can only be a good thing for the service, because even though it says it's going to be built into TVs going forward, the more partners that sort of get involved in that, the more TVs that come out with Freeview built in, or Freeview I should say, Freely built in. That can only be a good thing for the brand, like its recognition and sort of embedding it in with everybody. But, this all depends on how willing people are to upgrade or get new TVs that incorporate Freely, because as far as we learnt from past information, your existing television won't be able to receive Freely. I'm pretty sure that was the line given. You have to get a new TV with it already built in. The corporate comment from Everyone TV, so this is by Sarah Milton and Carl Pfeiffer, who are joint chief product officers. They said, it's clear the way people are watching TV is changing, with more audiences switching over to a broadband-only connection. We've built Freely around the needs of British audiences, bringing them the freedom to choose how they want to watch, with all their favourite shows from the UK's leading broadcasters all in one place for free. We're really proud of what we're launching with Freely and are excited about bringing major enhancements like the mini guide to viewers as Freely launches in Q2 of this year. So again, that's sort of like the April to June time frame. So yes, they are they're saying they're building it around British audiences, so broadband only viewing is an option, but I think it's great that they've still left aerial and dish or DTT or satellite as an option, because if they were to just go cold turkey and freeview itself, the old system was eventually ditched. That could leave so many people in the lurch. So I think maintaining, both systems is good for now. And then from Vestel, this new partner, this is Atkin, I hope I'm saying that right, who is the Vice President of TV Product Management at Vestel, said, "We're thrilled to announce our further partnership and commitment to the latest innovation in television technology by offering customers TVs that are compatible with Freely. Freely offers a seamless and intuitive user interface that aligns perfectly with our mission to elevate the way people experience television. The collaboration not only enhances the functionality of our TVs, but also empowers users to freely stream, see what they did there, freely stream their favourite shows, live and on demand, all from a single unified platform. As one of the TV manufacturers now compatible with Freely, we're proud to be setting the standard for the future of television." So all very positive words there, all really positive stuff. And, again, it's just, I find this really exciting. Any new interface, whether you think it's going to succeed or fail, any new innovations or evolutions in television are quite exciting. And the fact that we're going to be getting Freely as soon as, between April and June of this year, that's a lot sooner than I think a lot of us thought we were going to get it. I think it was mainly aimed for, later on in the year, post-summer. So we're going to be getting our hands on Freely, maybe again, a lot sooner than we might have first thought. And like any service, yes, there'll probably be bugs, there'll probably be issues. I mean, they've already outlined the issues with available channels and stuff, but as time goes on, they will be ironed out, and hopefully Freely will be able to build itself up as the true evolution and ultimately replacement of Freeview that they've clearly designed it to be. Yes, the interface, as I say, we've only got a snapshot of it, but I think it does look really quite slick, quite nice, very accessible, and already I think the features it's touting might even give the paid ones a bit of a run for their money. I don't think it's going to damage them outright, but again, like it said, Freely's going to be offering basic, functions and services that providers like Sky are charging for. Now, yes, the whole debate about Freely being free, this has even been covered in the mainstream news, is the internet free? No, you have to pay for, a service. So already it's, if you're going that route, it's not free. Having an aerial or a dish, that's not free either. In terms of buying one, it's not free. Then, of course, you've got the license fee, which is ever a hot point of contention amongst people. So, yes, that's not free. That is a cost over each year. So ultimately, it's not completely free, but it's, some would argue it's a lot more accessible than a paid subscription service to someone like Sky might ever be. But yeah, I'll be very interested to see how the competition reacts to this when Freely drops. I'm really, really hoping that when that we get more maybe clips or a promo for Freely. At the minute, all we've had is a few pictures, a few snapshots. We've obviously had the logo and stuff like that, but I hope before launch, between that April and June window, we get a little promo, or we get to see, a promotional video of Freely in action, because I think the proof is in the concept. It's all very exciting. The more I read about it, the more information we learn, the more gradually hyped I'm getting for Freely. But I need, you want to see it in action, you want to try and get a hand on it yourself. So hopefully that'll come in the near future. But that is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed it, please do leave a like on this video. It does help us out. And let me know in the comments, are you more excited for Freely than you were before? Are you about the same? Are you a bit skeptical still about this service and what it's going to offer? Let me know all of those thoughts down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're brand new. We'd love to have you aboard. In the meantime, I've been Martyn from AMTV. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Ben Freeman, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Bruce Danton, Globe of Reviews, Derek Chambers, Shaun Knock, Daud Khan, Liam De-Maine, Trev Hughes, Ajmac 200017, Deck KP20, Simon Harrison, and Evan Hart 38, our AMTV staff members.